You know what? You can have all the power in the world, all the money in the world. You can have the power to decide who you want to fight on your network and who you don't want to fight on your network. You could go on your TV show and you could make up your own pound for pound gaddy list because you don't like the list that is used universally. So you could feed and plant the seed into hundreds and thousands of fans, telling them it's not really that important to win unless you're the right person that wins. You may have the power to reach hundreds and thousands of fans, sending this type of message, programming and brainwashing the dumbasses. You may have the resources and the power to do all of that. But you know one thing, no matter how much power you have, no matter how much money you have, there is one thing that you will never be able to do. And that's make Donaire a better fighter. Make Manny Pacquiao a better fighter. See, money can't buy that. Money can't buy natural talent. Money can't buy being the best fighter in the world. You cannot buy it. And this is the dilemma that HBO has. In a perfect world, according to HBO, if they could have it their way, the perfect world would be top 10 pound for pound list. Manny Pacquiao number 1, Donaire number 2, Sergio Martinez number 3, Canelo number 4, Abner Mares number 5, Julio Cesar Chavez number 6, and the list goes on and on and on. This is the way they would have it if they could have it. But they don't have the power to do that. See, they don't have the power of a genie. Or they don't have the power of a devil to buy a man's soul and give him whatever he wants. They don't have that type of power. But the power that they do have is to brainwash people and try to get people to believe that winning is not the most important thing anymore. And if Donaire can't beat Rigo, who gives a fuck? Donaire is the most exciting. He's more entertaining. So he's pound for pound the entertainment champ. So they're going to keep feeding you this shit and hoping while they're sabotaging Rigo's career, they want you to forget that the Rigo fight ever took place while rebuilding the Nonito Donaire brand. See, HBO wants to infect everyone with dumbassism. But you motherfuckers ain't gonna never keep me silent. It's gonna take a nation of millions to hold me back and keep me from telling the truth. So anyway, let me get back to the ad that took place on HBO. It was a very good ad. You know, it was a very good way to promote the upcoming fights on HBO. And I understood the gist of it, all right? But my whole thing is, when I looked at the ad, the first thing I thought of is, see, HBO, they were already working on projects like this a long time ago. You know, ads like this, they don't just pop up and do it. This is things that they've been thinking about for a while. So as far as I'm concerned, I believe that when Rigo beat Donaire, they realized, hey guys, you know, now when we do our promotion ad for all the upcoming fights, we're going to have to replace Donaire with Guillermo Rigo. And that's when HBO said, oh, no, we can't do that. Donaire is one of our #1 poster boys. Okay? So when they thought about that, they said, look, man, let's stall Rigo. Let's not get him a fight. And let's get Donaire a fight instead. This is one of the many reasons why they didn't want to give Rigo a fight on HBO, even though Bob Arum had promised that if Rigo beat Donaire, you know, big things were to come. This is the reason why they did it, because they knew they would have to replace one of their favorite fighters with Rigo. They did not want to do that. But as always, you could tie up the truth, you could throw the truth in a motherfucking prison cell, but the truth will always break free eventually. Just like the truth broke out when Rigo upset Donaire. Let HBO tell it. Let all the fans tell it. Nobody wanted to see the Rigo fight. Rigo wasn't ready. Rigo would get knocked out. Rigo this, Rigo that. The truth set motherfuckers free. Because Rigo went in there and he beat Donaire's ass. Like I said, man, money will not make Donaire a better fighter. All these ads you doing, trying to intentionally offend people like Guillermo Rigondeaux by putting this motherfucker in the ad and not even having Rigo there, inviting motherfuckers to to HBO dinners, not inviting Rigo. That shit ain't gonna change a motherfucking thing. You know, you may be winning right now as far as giving Donaire exposure and all that kind of shit, but I'm gonna tell you right now, at the end of the day, Rigo, he gonna be on top. And he's gonna be the last man standing. Eventually there's gonna come to a point where Donaire is gonna start losing consecutively, just like Oscar De La Hoya did. Only way that won't happen is if they are extremely careful with matching Donaire up. But if they fuck around and they put Donaire in there with the best, or even the top 5 best, he is going to disappoint HBO and a whole lot of fans. And Rigo, on the other hand, is going to keep winning. This ain't no different. I mean, you know, the way they shitting on Rigo right now, it's no different. It's the same thing they did with Floyd Mayweather damn near a decade ago. When Floyd Mayweather was undefeated, he was dominant. Not Jim Lampley, and at the time, Larry Merchant, he tried to do his damnness to stop the momentum of a rising star in Floyd Mayweather. Like I told you guys before, when Floyd Mayweather won a 12-round decision, Larry Merchant would say, oh, well, the shit was boring. When Floyd would come back in the next fight and he would fight an entertaining fight and knock his opponent out, then Jim Lampley would say, oh, but the motherfucker can't sell tickets. He ain't gonna never be a fucking star. This and that and all this kind of shit. I remember Floyd Mayweather was calling out Oscar De La Hoya years and years ago, way before the fight even, came to fruition. And what was Larry Merchant saying? Oh, he don't want to fight De La Hoya. He's just saying that shit because he ain't a star and he's trying to gain momentum, star power by just using Oscar De La Hoya's name. He doesn't really want to fight Oscar. Everything he threw at Floyd Mayweather, it did not stop Floyd from becoming world's biggest sports athlete in the entire world. Okay? No matter what they threw at him, you could not stop the bum rush. And that's what's going to happen with Rigo. Like I said, money can only get you so far. But you will not be able to make this man a better fighter. You can't just slide $1 million in Donaire's bank account and all of a sudden this motherfucker now know how to move his head better. All of a sudden he got the same natural type talent that Guillermo Rigo or Floyd Mayweather has. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't put no motherfucking magical shoes on Donaire's feet like Lil Bow Wow and now the motherfucker can play basketball better. No, that's fiction. But like I said, it don't matter because Rigo, he's going to be the last man standing. He will be the last man standing. I believe Rigo, he only has 2 fights left on his contract with Bob Arum. I would obviously advise that Rigo runs for the motherfucking hills once he get them 2 fights out of the way. Rigo, he hasn't took too much punishment. I'm sure he could fight for another 5, maybe even 10 years and still be at his best. Especially if you have people like Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather, and others. Then, of course, you got Bob Arum and HBO trying to brainwash everybody, talking about it's all about entertainment and styles and this and that. And that's the reason why they treating Rigo like this. Oh, really? So HBO doesn't like knockouts, right? Because Rigo got a gang of knockouts. In fact, he has a higher percentage of knockouts than Donaire does. Okay? Like I said before in my previous videos, when Rigo was fighting Donaire, Rigo was going toe-to-toe with the way bigger Donaire. And you could see, just go back, watch the fight. Pause the motherfucking fight and watch the size difference between Donaire and Rigo. It's unbelievable. Rigo looks like he's fucking 118 pounds, which is what he's supposed to be, and Donaire looks like he's 140, 150 pounds. And there Rigo is standing toe-to-toe with him. And like I said before, every single time they exchanged and they went toe-to-toe, after they had their exchange, you know who was always the first person to throw a punch? It was Guillermo Rigo. Okay? It was Guillermo Rigo. Rigo, he got knocked down in the fight. Rigo, He staggered Donaire in the first round. Rigo, he staggered Donaire in the 12th round, almost knocked his ass down or knocked him out. Had Donaire on his bicycle, crying to the referee, holding his eye. Rigo threw more punches than Donaire. But you want to sit over here and say, oh, it's because Rigo is not exciting enough. That's why they're treating him this way. Oh, yeah. But that didn't have nothing to do with Donaire not throwing that many punches with a man who was standing right in front of him because he was fucking scared he was going to get caught with that damn left hand. The hell you talking to? Y'all ain't going to keep me silent. Y'all ain't going to program me with the dumbass talk. You're going to get the whole motherfucking truth on this channel. Like I said, Rigo will prevail. Donaire will be another fucking Oscar De La Hoya. A fighter that HBO loves the shit out of, but they cannot make a better fighter. That's all this shit comes down to. I'm going to go ahead and end this one, y'all. I'm on to the next one.